Peace and love, world. Welcome to episode 46 of Conversation with Zoe, titled Being Black in Boarding School. Now, let's keep it funky. I did not have the natural born right to attend Suffield Academy. From 2008 to 2011, I attended a $40,000 to $45,000 school per year. So that's what I noticed. This education is different. Like, there's a whole bunch of rich people out there. Not everybody who's rich is a celebrity. There's a lot of people who are low-key just rich. Rich as fuck. They're getting money. I really got to see the other side of the world. Like, wow, like there's kids from Bermuda, Switzerland, China, all over the world that I go to school with, and they're out here getting an education with me. So for me, I was a part of their world, but I noticed that they wasn't a part of mine. Like, I had to learn to live in their world and accept their trends and how they move and how they talk and how they dress. But the closest thing they got to accepting my world was Lil Wayne, Drake, or any hip hop music that they listen to. These predominantly white institutions are not made for us, right? It's not. And in order to get there, right, a lot of my cards had to align. I had to meet the right people. I had to excel in sports. I had to do good in school. I had to do well in school. And I had to be a good kid on paper and in person, right? Just to get the same opportunity that a lot of these white kids have the natural born right to attend. Like, it's 100% fact that the day my man Nick was born, he 100% had the right to go to that school because his family had the resources to do so, and my family doesn't. So when we get here, we gotta fit in. We have to do everything right. We have to be leaders in the community, do well in the classroom, excel on the field, and just be active. Take in everything. That's what I did, right? But my whole thing is, as I look back to it, why is there? Because you pay for us to go to the school. Why is it all this pressure for us to always have to be this great and excel in everything when you have kids like James who go and pay their tuition and don't contribute anything to the society, anything to the community, don't bring any value or anything to the school, right? So why does everything have to fall on me and my brothers and sisters who attend this school? I've seen white girls, go up to my black sisters and be like, yo, could I touch your hair? What is this, a petting zoo? Like, what type of shit is that? And you look back at it like they grow up in a bubble. Like, they're already in a bubble from Greenwich and different parts of the city and Calabasas and Palo Alto and all these other places, right? Wherever they from, they live. Well, rich people live in a rich person's world, right? It's just different, right? They're secluded. And then you go to these schools where people cater to your seclusion. So you can still live in this excluded world where everyone else understands you, right? But people don't understand, Suffield Academy knows my heart, more importantly than anything. They know Lorenzo is not a thug or a criminal. He's a good kid, right? But the minute I step off of that campus, law enforcement and other white people will only see me as a thug, as a criminal, as a scum of the earth, as a murderer, a killer, a gangster, a delinquent, as a bum. And it's like, I'm none of the above. I've lived my whole life trying to avoid that whole, being in that discussion. I never want somebody to see me like that. But because I'm black, people see me like that. Literally, I attended a $45,000 school per year school. I did that. So that's what I'm saying. You judge me but don't even know me. You've already put your stamp on me of what I am when I'm not. But then places like, boarding schools weren't built for me. It was built for the rich. But even when you're rich, and this thing, some of my rich black friends from boarding school could tell you the same thing. They may feel, because they got in the same tax bracket as Tyler and Emily, that they fit in with them too. And they don't. They don't accept you because you're still black, so you less than them. You may be richer than them, more successful than them. Everything come from a richer family, but not in their eyes, not in their world, because you're black, you're inferior, you're less than. We don't value your life as much as everybody else should. And then you go to the black kids in the black community, and you might get shunned from them too. They might see you as a Carlton or an Uncle Tom. which is messed up too because you're black and you're looking for a place of acceptance, right? So you may think the white community may accept you when they don't, and then the black community shuns you, and then where you left? You trying to find where you fit in. You figure because I look like them that I fit with them, but then you don't relate to them because you got money, you're not from the hood, so then there's a division too, but we all black, we all human, we should all love each other. You know, how many times at Suffolk Academy was I asked, was I in a gang? This only happened like my first couple months, but still it happened. Oh, you're from the South Bronx? Are you in a gang? Are you a Blood or a Crip? Do you know any Bloods or Crips? I didn't know gang members go to boarding school. I didn't know that. I didn't know Suffolk Academy was recruiting Bloods. Oh yeah, Charlie Can's a Crip, C's. So, he recruited me to come down to his school. Come on, fool. What's wrong with you? So at the end of the day, we're all trying to make it in this world. We all have a right to a fair education. And that's why I became a teacher. That's why I want to teach. That's why I want to become an advocate. That's why I am an advocate, and I am advocating for education, because there are kids receiving very expensive educations, and there are the 1% of the 1%, the elite of the elite, and that's why their life is pretty much panned out, because they're going to end up at better colleges and end up getting better paying jobs than anybody else because of the investment that their families put into their education. And that's what the black community is not doing. We're not invested in education, and we're living in poor communities with poor school districts, so it all is a triple effect. So you got shitty teachers, shitty schools, shitty neighborhoods, shitty life at home. That's a lot to deal with. Those are a lot of obstacles to deal with inside and outside of school just to get an education. It's exhausting. So now we get the chance to go to these boarding schools, and life does not get easier. It gets harder because you have to find a way to fit in. And because you're a scholarship kid, they have a lot of expectations of you. You better perform. You better help us win something. We gave you a scholarship, not on good faith, but on your projection. For a person like me, I am forever grateful for these opportunities, and I'm happy that I was able to go to these schools and flourish and take advantage of every opportunity that I had been given. But I also earned it. It was given to me, and I got the opportunity, but I also earned it because I did everything right. But then I do everything right, and they still see, and the fight doesn't stop there. Doing everything right, the fight does not stop there. And all these predominantly white institutions are not built for us, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago. So when we get there, the curriculum is not built for us. The environment is not built for us. Yes, it's meant on diversity and morals and values and all that stuff. That sounds good, but doesn't mean that everybody doesn't have a prefixed notion of who I am or an assumption. Yes, it's all about inclusion and diversity and peace and love and harmony, but still, you can't hide what happens behind closed doors or amongst, other groups of kids, or how their family thinks of black people, or how they may see us, or how they were raised to see us. So you may promote all these things, doesn't mean you value me. It sounds good, it looks good, but it don't feel good, it don't feel right. Because that wasn't meant for me. From the beginning of time, this wasn't built on black people being included in this. Oh, but they could help us win a couple football games, basketball games, or sports. So let's get them in the door. But what about the kid who isn't that athletically gifted? How does he get in the door? What I'm saying? That could change his life too. A kid, maybe he's a C average student, but he's a great kid. May not offer you much athletically. Do you see him as an investment? Do you project that he'll contribute to your school and be the best he can be? So it's hard. It's a hard conversation. And a lot of these PWIs need to open up their eyes and accept us all for who we are. Accept the fact that we live in two worlds and we're trying to fight every day to be the best that we can be in your world and in our world. And I'm not a threat. But when I leave your beautiful campus, I am a threat to the entire world. Like, subscribe, comment. Love you guys. Keep hope alive. My 28th birthday is in a couple days. When I was 12, I didn't think I'd see 18. So seeing 28 is a blessing. Love you guys.